time. It takes a long time to get out of this prison of ignorance. Don't go for the cheap highs, the cheap satsang highs. Keep doing your work. You gotta do your karma yoga, you gotta do your upasana yoga. It's a discipline. And you gotta do your jnana yoga. That's the message you should take away from here. Yes, the high's nice. Remember and say, wow, that Ramji, he's got charisma. He puts us all in samadhi. Well, okay, so what? You know, I'm off out there eating my dooners and having fun with my friends. You still got your life to deal with. I'm partying. You don't know what I'm doing once I get out from here. You don't have no idea. I'm having a good time. I'm not in, because I'm not in jail. I went through this. I stuck the spoon up my butt and I did all that stuff. Day in and day out, I scraped and scraped and scraped. I, swept out my cell. I swept my mind every day of these dualistic thoughts, emptied them in the dustbin and threw them out. And when they came back, I swept it up the next day and then I threw it out. And I kept at it over and over and over again, happily, joyfully, cheerfully. Because every little spoon of dirt and dust you throw out, is one little blissful moment. And you just keep generating those lovely blissful moments by your actions until your confidence in yourself grows. If you do what's right for yourself, you're going to love yourself, and loving yourself means what? You're confident. Everybody like this, looking around over their back. Oh my God, they're not confident, they're scared. Everybody's scared. Oh, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose my job. My boyfriend's going to run away. My kids are going to get fined in school. I need to... Just an exhausting litany of what? Of whining, complaining. Donald Trump, if you want to whine, study Donald Trump. He's the chief whiner. He's the whiner in chief of the world. Nobody whines and complains like that guy. Nobody has more grievances and complaints than that guy. And he does it with style. He gets all his people together and he preaches to the choir. Oh yeah, we've been screwed here. We've been screwed. The medical system and the corporations and the big pharma and the military and everybody's out to get us. But we know who we are. We're the whiners. We're the complainers. Got a chip on our shoulder all day long, waiting for somebody to say something so we can punch them in the face. That's not who I am. You want to know who I am. Nobody gives a shit who you are, honestly. Nobody. Are you laying awake at night worrying about what everybody else is thinking? If you are, you got a problem. But probably you aren't. You just lay awake at night worrying about what you're thinking. And they're laying awake in bed at night worried about what they're thinking. Understand? So, I got to take this seriously. We call it mumukshutvam, that's a technical term. It means a burning desire. You can only get free, set yourself free, if you have a burning desire to do so. A middling desire will get you middling freedom, and a piddling desire will get you piddling freedom. And you've got plenty of piddling. Piddling means really tiny. I don't know if you know that word in Europe. Piddling means like a little puddle of freedom. You get that every day when when you drink a cup of coffee. That's a little freedom. Freedom from craving, whatever it is. But you need more. Dare to seek. And not seek, we're not seeking, because when you come to Vedanta, you discover, you become a finder. People seek without knowing how to seek. We're telling you how to seek. And we don't call it seeking. What do we call it? Inquiry. And self-inquiry, which is Vedanta, which is the third stage, is not asking questions. Oh, who am I? Stupid Papaji. Somebody asked him what self-inquiry was about. He said, ask who am I, and then sit quietly and wait for the answer. What? You think God thinks you're, you think God even thinks that you got a problem or even hears your question? No. And ignorance has no problem with that question. It'll let you sit there forever waiting for the answer. And even if God appeared as a great big 200-foot tall human being, genie with, radiance and powerful, and said, you are pure, limitless, non-dual, actionless, ordinary, unconcerned, unborn awareness, and scared the shit out of you, huh? Would you accept that? You wouldn't accept it. You'd have some reason why that didn't work for you. Stop worrying. Mayor Baba, he writes on there. He got so sick of people asking him. He didn't have a teaching, but they'd ask him, what about this and what about that? And he would have saved himself a lot of trouble. He had a little slate here and a chalky, don't worry, be happy. Okay, but how many people stopped worrying because he wrote, don't worry, be happy? You don't stop worrying because what? You like to worry. You've abnormalized the normal. You think jail's normal because you look around and everybody else is in jail. And they all just like you. And you say, oh yeah, that's nice here, it's cozy, warm. And whenever you have a problem, they hug you and say, yeah, don't worry, it's all good, we love you. Nom, nom, And on you go, just okay, I gotta calm down here.
Did you have coffee or what?
Jessica made strong coffee this morning. No, actually it started long before the strong coffee. I got to thinking about it, I think, because it's really, I try to make people feel guilty. I admit this. By telling them, by saying, you're responsible for my suffering because why? I must be a bad teacher because you're not getting it. And you've been coming for years. So it's got to be my fault. So I keep experimenting, trying to wake you bastards up. And commit to this. You got to commit. You commit to money, sex, power. There was a guy that was talking to a Vedanta person, and he said, "Oh, Swami, you're the greatest. You've given up the goods of this world for the truth." And the Swami said, "Oh no, you're much greater. You've given up the truth for the goods of this world." Huh? No, this is a choice. That, the freedom to exercise, the freedom that you have to make this choice is the freedom that is your nature, your birthright. You're born free. You don't say, I'm going to get free. You say, I am free. That's what you'll say when you understand this. When you've assimilated it, you've done the work. You will say, I am free. And that just ends what? That ends all of this worry. People say, well, what's on your bucket list? And you say, I don't have a bucket list. You know what a bucket list is? I don't have a bucket list. Why? Because I'm immortal. I don't die. I don't have to fit a whole bunch of experiences into my resume before I die so that I'll die happy. If you've got a bucket list, you're going to die miserable because it means you're dissatisfied. You don't die. If you're unborn, can you die? No, but I've been hypnotized by ignorance of what? I think I'm this meat tube. No, meat tube dies. Of course it does. There's never a meat tube that was born that didn't die. But are you your meat tube? Or do you have a meat tube?
I have one.
I have a meat tube, that's correct. If you have a meat tube, you can't be the meat tube. If you're not the meat tube, then look and see who you are, and you'll discover that that me was never born, and that me will never die. So you're good to go. And everything here becomes pleasurable. Everything here becomes an entertainment. It's like a movie. Sometimes it's a scary movie and an ugly movie and a violent movie and everything's busted up, and that's fun. You know, people love to watch destruction of property and the death of human beings on a screen. Huh? They'd love that. They also love the good stuff. They love to watch really high and beautiful, blissful movies also. But it doesn't matter, because whatever movie is playing out is what? Movie. It's just a movie. And the screen of awareness, isn't in any way affected by the movement of those pixels. The pixels change, but I don't change. Yeah, well, that's about right. Any arguments? Got my fangs out already. Yeah, there's no argument. There's no argument. See that? That's the beauty of Vedanta. We don't argue. We're not going to try to convince you. I'm trying to inspire you and help to direct your attention to what's really valuable. This experience is lovely. Being together with you guys and experiencing this peace and this silence and communicating like this is lovely. But, that's basically my glory. I can generate that. But when you get outside, every day, you're on the bus and you're going to your job and you're taking out the garbage, you need to get that on your own. You need to do the work. That's all. This whole modern thing is all just a big con to lazy, self-indulgent people who think luxuries is necessities. And they think what? That the spiritual world is another luxury. It's just going to be another badge, another little bit of hairspray I put on my head, a little more lipstick. You're putting lipstick on a pig, if that's what you think. A pig's a pig. You put lipstick on it, it's still a pig. This modern spirituality is a pig. It's greedy, it's hungry, it's experience-oriented, it eats all day long. More. And what happens? You get reborn as a pig. Reborn means, that's all. There's this notion in the Vedas that you can, and it's actually a fact, it's rare, but that you can devolve. Like Shankara says in Vedanta that to be born a human is a great blessing. How many people have a problem with that? Huh? Everybody says, what's this man talking about? He must, he must have been drunk the Kool-Aid. There's something wrong with this guy, because being born a human is a big problem. No, it's not actually. Going backward is the problem.